where the rescue workers now say that they've managed to break through with the debris and have laid out a 90-centimeter diameter pipe through which the workers can, of course, be pulled out one by one. We expect that the rescue work of getting the workers out could begin in the next 60 minutes. Roughly at about 1:15 in the afternoon today, that is when the rat hole miners who had been brought in yesterday from places such as Delhi and Jhansi, they managed, using their handheld tools, to dig through the last few meters of this debris and have created a conduit through which these workers can, of course, be brought out. And what you're looking at this moment are live images of what is happening at the entrance of this tunnel in Uttarkashi. And the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand has, of course, said that good news is expected soon. And we expect the good news, of course, to begin roughly in about an hour's time. At this moment, according to reports, the rescue workers are cleaning out any debris that could be inside of that 90-centimeter diameter pipe. And once that pipe is completely cleaned out, there will be a stretcher that will be laid in. There are drills that are being conducted in terms of ensuring that everything will go smoothly. The workers will have to lie down on that stretcher, and that stretcher will be pulled out using ropes by the workers who are stationed on the other side of this 90-centimeter diameter pipe. And it's not going to be a straightforward process because, remember, nothing is done until it is done. But the rescue workers say that they've managed to get this breakthrough and they do not expect any further complications from here on. Things, of course, can go wrong if the mud, of course, begins to shift. That can cause problems. And it's also raining in some areas is what has been reported. But we expect the rescue work to actually begin by 5 p.m. in roughly another 58 minutes from now. And the entire process of getting the 41 workers who are trapped inside out could last for anywhere about 2 to 3 hours. So one expects that by 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time this evening, we'll have all of those trapped workers out after their ordeal that has stretched for 17 long days, when the tunnel, in fact, had collapsed. And one also expects that this is, of course, the big moment where this process that one would have thought was fairly straightforward, but which had become so complicated because of the shifting nature of the collapsed debris. Because this is a tunnel that had to be dug not out of solid rock, but out of collapsed debris. And every time you dig something, there'd be more debris that would just come and fill up that space. And towards the end, remember, we've been close to getting these workers out for the last week. We were almost a meter away from getting these workers out, and still the wait has gone on for such a long period of time. And the workers who've been inside, they are said to be in good health condition. They have had access to hot cooked meals for the last 7 days. For the first 10 days of their ordeal, they were fed dried fruits and other things which were sent in to them using small packets. And what is, of course, expected over the course of the next 1-2 hours is that we expect these workers to be pulled out one by one. And these are the preparations that are being done outside. Each of these ambulances is said to be self-contained with all necessities, just in case the workers were to need them. And there's also a green corridor that has been created from the tunnel to the nearest hospital from the tunnel area, which is said to be about 35 kilometers away from where this drilling work is, of course, taking place. So traffic is out of bounds. No one will be allowed to get onto those roads at this moment. The NDRF at this moment is conducting mock drills of sending the stretcher inside of the tunnel and then pulling it out, just to ensure that everything will work as planned and there will be no further complications. And there are Indian Air Force's Chinook helicopters who are also on standby just in case the health condition of any of the workers is pretty bad, and therefore he may require to be airlifted to a much bigger health facility. But according to the information that has come in, because remember, the rescue workers are in constant touch with the trapped workers inside, none of the workers is in that kind of condition that they may need that kind of medical attention. But this is going to be a critical moment in getting the workers out, because they've been trapped for 17 long days, and now one expects that they will be brought out in the next 60 minutes, and everything, one hopes and one prays, will go according to plan, and there will be no further complications in this rescue work that has dragged on for 17 long days. The Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, he has said that he is, of course, tracking all of the developments very closely, and we do not expect any further complications to arise in the rescue work that is presently underway. The Chief Minister of Uttarakhand, Pushkar Singh Dhami, has said that he is personally overseeing the rescue efforts that are presently underway. The rescue teams of NDRF, SDRF and also several doctors are on standby for the rescue workers who are trapped inside of Uttarkashi Tunnel for the last 17 days. That is how long, imagine how long they've been inside of this tunnel cavity. But luckily they've had access to electricity, and right from the very beginning the effort, of course, had been to ensure that aeration was not cut off. So oxygen had been pumped inside using those smaller pipes that had been successfully drilled in the very first day of the rescue efforts. For food, a 6-inch diameter pipe had been pushed through the cavity. So food had, of course, been given to all of these workers. And for the last 7 days, the workers have had access to hot cooked meals. Before that, remember, they had no access to hot cooked meals. And this, of course, has been an extremely grueling operation, which one expects will end this evening. So there are 41 construction workers who remain trapped inside these tunnels. They are said to be in good health condition and therefore may not require much medical assistance, because of the fact that the rescue workers had managed to get food and oxygen for the workers inside. Food, water and oxygen was given to them, but having remained trapped inside of a space as confined as this is going to be a pretty challenging task. So the doctors are, of course, on the ball, and they are saying that just in case any of these workers needs any kind of medical assistance, that of course will be provided for them. And a team of doctors has, of course, been constituted, and they are on standby. And we expect the trapped workers to come out by 5 p.m., start coming out by 5 p.m. today. And this, of course, is going to be a big moment. This is a story that has captivated crores of people across India. Have been watching with bated breath the developments that are unfolding at this moment. And it is 8 minutes past 4 at this moment. What you're looking at are images from inside the tunnel, where it is reasonably dark because there is no direct sunlight, which is, of course, reaching there. So you have these artificial lights that are used. But keep in mind, we expect the process of the trapped workers being pulled out to begin in another 52 minutes from now. And everything, one expects, will go on smoothly from there on. So this is what is happening at this moment. These are live images that are beamed straight from the entrance of the collapsed tunnel. There are workers who've been working for the last 17 straight days, and they have now got their big breakthrough. One expects that things will not face any further complications from here. And from very early this morning, there was just 5 meters of debris that stood between the trapped workers and freedom. And it was these rat hole miners who used these handheld implements who managed to dig through the last few meters and managed to break through, get the breakthrough, and managed to push in this conduit pipe so that there is a clear passage from the workers who are trapped inside of this cavity and the rescue workers outside. And these are images from outside of the scene, because this has not been an easy operation. This has been pretty complicated for several reasons. The weather has been pretty challenging. And also, when we talk about tunneling, this is not tunneling through solid rock. This is tunneling through collapsed debris. That is what has made this entire operation so very difficult, because every time there was some of the debris that was removed, there would be more debris that would just collapse from the top, and that is what it complicated matters. But what we are witnessing at this moment is the final moments in this entire rescue effort. And we expect these workers, the trapped workers inside of the tunnel, to be brought out by 5 p.m. This is a 17-day long operation that captivated people across the length and breadth of India. And now we have some clarity in terms of how the workers will, of course, be pulled out from inside of the tunnel. Now remember, the workers had been trapped from the 12th of November onwards after a landslide that resulted in this tunnel collapse. The workers have had access to food, water and oxygen and have been communicating with the rescue workers outside. The trapped workers have also been communicating with their family members as well. But the family members have said that not until they're out will they believe their eyes of what has been happening. But remember, it is the rat hole miners using their simple handheld machines who managed to dig through this remaining debris, which has brought us so close to the final rescue of these workers. The powerful auger machine made by an American company called Trenchless, which was flown in especially to dig through the debris after the excavators could not sweep away the thick mound of soil and rock, that did the heavy lifting in the initial days of digging through the tunnel. But the final bit, the final stretch of digging had to be done using handheld implements, and that is what has succeeded. And this of course is a critical last few minutes where we're given to understand that there are drills that are being conducted by the rescue workers just to ensure that everything of course goes on smoothly. And the manner in which the trapped workers will be brought out is that there will be a stretcher that will be inserted inside of this conduit, a 90-centimeter diameter pipe that has now been drilled successfully through the debris. The stretcher will be inside of that 90-centimeter diameter conduit pipe, and at this moment what the rescue workers are doing is they're carrying out mock drills of getting the stretcher to come out with a certain amount of weight on it, to mimic the weight of a trapped miner that will be present when the actual rescue work will begin. So this is what is happening at this moment, and the workers we expect will be out by 8 p.m. this evening. The very first of the workers will be brought out by 5 p.m. and this is an operation that has been pretty successful, and the workers have of course been interacting with the outside world, and the families of the workers say that for the first time in 17 days they will of course have sweets tonight. They'll celebrate with sweets tonight because they are so very happy that this process that began on this 17 long days ago on the 12th of November will culminate today, one expects, with the successful rescue of all 41 workers. And also my colleague Idris Lohan has been tracking the developments very closely for us. Idris, we are in the final few moments. By 5 p.m. we expect the first of the workers could be brought out. Tell us as to what is happening at this moment.
Absolutely, Saleh, that is exactly what we are also waiting for. We've been told that not hours, but within minutes now, around 40-45 minutes, the first rescue would be made, and we're eagerly waiting for that as well. The main mission.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.